he gets that 2 stone back on, which he took off himself, he can win. But, you know, why on earth did he take 2 stone off that big build?
Pro boxing fans here in West London with Mark Tibbs. Mark, your charge. Johnny Fisher is out on the undercard of AJ versus Helenius. First of all, I've seen him this week. He looks happy, which is a good sign.
Well done, thank you for those things like that. It's important to me.
First of all, how are you? You all right?
Yeah, lovely, thank you, mate. Not too bad. Yeah, all good. We're all good. I'm happy like Johnny. But we've got work to do Saturday night, and we're not taking nothing too lightly. Yeah.
Harry Armstrong, I got to see him when he fought Jamie TKV. Yeah. A good, durable opponent. Good on his feet as well, actually, for a big guy. Well, what do you make of Harry Armstrong as a fighter?
Yeah, he's, like you just said, he's very durable, a big unit, as in size-wise, can box, and got good feet. So, you know, we've got our work cut out, but we're confident and in a game plan that we've put together, and we can, fingers crossed, we can pull it off Saturday night.
Obviously, you take one fight at a time, but now the titles are coming in, obviously, for the southern area. You know, you're going to be pushing for the English, British, and that route. How quick, as a trainer, do you want Johnny to go through that, or is it just a slow step-by-step with him?
Well, listen, look, it's his 10th pro fight, and it is what it is, and the process will be what it will be. You get me? So I really believe, you know, we're victorious on Saturday night. It will grow as a person and as a fighter, for sure, with his first belt round his waist. And you know, he's 24 years old, so he'll move at a pace that most prospects move at, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the main event? Obviously, the news broke out about Dillian Whyte failing a drug test. We're still to hear more on what it was and everything else. What do you make of that situation?
I was surprised when the news came out last Saturday. I was surprised, and I was a bit shocked and a little deflated, but I was very, very optimistic in the same time, because I had a fighter on the undercard, as in Johnny, his first title fight, so that's what kept me up, you know, kept my optimistic up. And I had very good faith in Matchroom Boxing because of what they've been through before, so they would handle it a lot better this time. That's what I just thought, and I kept my fingers crossed, and, you know, like we all did who worked hard on this show, and you know, we've all put hard work in the weeks with, you know, there's a lot of fighters and prospects on this card. So that was all my focus was. I didn't focus on Dillian, to tell you the truth. I was a bit sickened for him and frustrated a little bit, because I was looking forward to that fight like everyone else. It would have been a brilliant humdinger. AJ Whyte too would have been a great fight, and but it never happened. And listen, the show's still on, so that's all I'm happy about, if you know what I'm saying.
It's unfortunate. I know Dillian's going to fight his case, which obviously he's rightful to do so, but in general, we've seen 2 big fights not happen because of the same reason. How frustrating is it, as someone who's in boxing, who's very close to the fighters, that this is now happening, that these drug tests are coming out, people are failing drug tests at the highest level?
Listen, it's very, very difficult, and I won't comment on business that's not mine. You get me? My fighters are my fighters, and I just focus on Johnny Fisher. I mean, the Johnny Fisher business run for ball at this stage, and he's at the beginning of his career, really, his first title fight. So that's where my focus is.
Do you want to talk about AJ, the main man? There's a lot of talk about, after this fight in January in Saudi, a fight with Deontay Wilder. Every time I think of that, it looks just a great fight. But give me your thoughts on that fight, AJ versus Wilder. What happens?
Well, I'd like to see AJ really shine and let his hands go on this Saturday night, to give me confidence with the Deontay Wilder fight. And what a great fight that's going to be in December. But listen, one fight at a time. I always believe in one fight at a time, and shining. He's got to shine. He's got to shine. And against what's his name? Who's he fighting Saturday? Helenius. I think he will shine. I think it's a great opponent for him. Tricky opponent. Helenius, nice and fit. Just come off a victorious win himself. So that's a great match versus Helenius, AJ. But the Deontay Wilder fight is going to be one brilliant, big blockbuster fight. and I can't wait for that. But dangerous bloody fight, as we all know, our Wilder can punch. But listen to this. AJ's got the size and he's the strength and size. That's how you overcome that. He's quite a lightweight for a heavyweight, Wilder. So if you can bully him on his back foot, he's a lost guy. But he has got that backhand knockout power. So that's up to AJ and his team to evade that shot. But you can't come off a Wilder either. You can't come off a Wilder for too much for too long, because that's where Wilder can tee you off. You get me?
Do you want to quickly talk about a few of the things in boxing before I let you go? Terence Crawford putting on a masterclass against Errol Spence Jr. a couple of weeks ago. Is he now number one pound for pound in your eyes?
Yeah, I think so. He's definitely up there. I believe he's just an incredible fighter. I saw him fight about 4 years ago. I said to you before, against Indongo, the African guy, and I thought, what a beautiful counter puncher he is, and masterful, strategic, masterful boxer he is. And yeah, he's up there number one for sure. He's got it all.
Quick predictions: Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. What happens in that fight?
Liam Smith repeat wins.
Joe Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang part 2. What happens in that fight?
I want Joe Joyce, but I'm not close to the camp, so it's difficult for me to say. If he gets that 2 stone back on, which he took off himself, he can win. But you know, why on earth did he take 2 stone off that big build? An old unit, like he ain't old, ancient or a dinosaur, but he's an old guy that don't need to be trimming down like he's a 18, 20-year-old. But anyway, Joe Joyce.
Final one, sorry. Dubois Usyk. Can Dubois cause the upset?
I bloody well hope so, because that man can punch as well. He's fast, he can punch, he's hard. He's hard, he punches hard and fast. So he's got a puncher's chance, but it's a very slim chance against Usyk.
Mark Tibbs, always a pleasure talking to yourself. Good luck with Johnny, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.